would you feel more comfortable if it was like a grown on limb? Like,
Well, eventually, you get enough of these like extra wide monitors and they're curved and so Dan, when you're cooking,
Mhm.
do you have like a seasoning that you really like, but it doesn't fit everywhere, but like you're really happy when you get to use it?
um, not specifically, but I understand the concept.
Okay. So, mine is Szechuan peppercorns
Dude, I do enjoy some good old Szechuan.
because it's like, can I put those everywhere? Absolutely not. They will not work because they're a very present flavor, I think I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very difficult for them to work in all types of like food. And I'm okay with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you, I feel so happy when I get to actually have them in something.
I mean, that makes sense.
We made some rice recently,
Mm-hmm.
and borderline last minute, I'm like, it would go great in this. This would be absolutely fantastic with Szechuan pepper. And I grabbed a few and I ground them up and I popped them in. And day one, man, I was so right. It was such a good addition. And man, day two, it's even better. I love the like that floral, like fruity thing that they have going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all in all, they're probably my favorite seasoning that I wish I could use more, but like it's very difficult to find something where it's like, hey, I want to eat something that both is mildly numbing and very overpowering with everything. Yeah, you can't do that. But man, it got me thinking of like, how like people make like special mayos and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
just thinking how nice, hypothetically
A
nice, I guess I
Szechuan
should
mayo would
say.
be.
A Szechuan mayo could be really good, dude.
That I could see it actually.
Szechuan garlic
I
mayo.
I I don't know. I
Are you?
I have mixed feelings about Szechuan because I really do enjoy Szechuan as a general thing. But I also feel like it's something I can only have in like very, very small doses. Like I wouldn't want Szechuan more than 2 days in a row.
I don't know if I agree,
That's super
but
fair.
I definitely get where you're coming from, though. It's not exactly it is not an always pleasant sensation. I'll definitely give you that.
That's super fair.
I don't know. I was thinking of it and figured I would open up today's episode asking you about how you feel about such things. I don't
Well,
really have any other major plans of what to talk about today, so it felt like a good go-to, right?
mm-hmm.
So anyway,
I
happy
don't know.
Sunday.
I don't have. I wish I would like. I would love to contribute more to this conversation. I just don't have a lot of experience with, um, honestly, with cooking in general. I mean, Michelle does a lot of the cooking, not because like, oh, I won't cook, but because she prefers to do it. And
Mhm.
also, I don't know.
You don't want to say that she's a
I was
better
about
cook
to
than
do.
you,
I was
but
about to do
also she
the,
might be
and
a little
also
bit better.
sexism, haha. But like, then I felt gross about even saying that in a joking context, so I cut myself off. So here we are,
Yeah,
and where
fair
I'm
enough.
explaining how I didn't want to say a thing by saying the thing anyway. You see, it's called meta commentary, Noah. You probably don't have a high
Yes,
enough
yes, yes.
IQ to
I'm very
understand.
familiar. Oh, I'm very unfamiliar.
Thank
Yes.
you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't done much cooking lately. I haven't done much cooking. I had such one from work because we get it while we're in the city. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Fair enough, though. I, as someone who doesn't live in a city that has fun cooking and stuff, don't get things like that very often.
that's fair.
However, I've been having the grand fun of cooking at home a
Mm-hmm.
lot recently. And I really like it. It's fun, and just it was a last minute addition to our dish the other day. We were just doing like a mushroom fry or mushroom rice thing,
Mm-hmm.
like nothing that was leaning in really any direction flavor wise. It was just like, yeah, we got some sesame, we got some I don't know, fucking you know. you
Yeah,
know.
I know. I get you. I see
um
you.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna be anything special, but it was gonna be tasty. And then last minute, I'm like, oh, what would go great in this? A little bit of Szechuan, and I
Mm,
popped it in, and boy howdy, dude, boy howdy, it was so good.
a little bit of Szechuan up in there.
Oh, you know it because I said it.
I do. Oh God, no. There I go.
Dan, I can't believe you're trying to like steal the limelight from me right now. I'm trying to talk about my Szechuan mushroom rice thing, and you're dying. It's disrespectful, is what it is.
Frankly, it is. Honestly, I'm not sorry.
Were you at least choking on something good, or was
No,
it
I was
just
choking
like
on
water?
my own fucking spit.
Oh no, man! One of my least favorite things is when that happens, and you get that one jackass who's like, "How stupid do you have to be to choke on your own spit?" And it's
No,
like,
fuck
I don't
that.
know, dude.
I don't know, dude.
Just fucking
I'm just
happens.
fucking dying. Leave me alone.
I had a few people in my life who used to say stuff like that. It's like, I don't know, man. Sometimes you just choke on your own spit. You inhale wrong. It's not a choice I've made,
Sometimes I'm just a little phlegmy.
I feel like actually, and this is not to slander Jackson. I feel like Jackson might be one of those kind of guys, but I also know
But I
that
feel like if he
unlike
says that, he's doing it as a bit.
well, that's the thing. Unlike some other people who I have had unironically be like, "Wow, you are a lesser human being for choking on your own spit."
You dumb fuck.
I know Jackson's definitely doing it as a bit, and also seriously, like God intended.
Because as we all know, Jackson, who is not here, by the way, we're not going to address that. By the way, we're just going to let that slide.
Yeah, I mean Jackson isn't available this week, so he's not here. Just like you last week, who's just like, "Hey, I'm not gonna be here." Hey,
that's because my parents were my in-laws were in town.
Your chosen parents.
My chosen parents. There's
good
everyone
parents.
inside of you are two parents.
Congrats.
No, they
on
were
your
in town.
favorite parents
They
for
were. It
being
was
in
super
town.
nice, actually. It was actually a really good time. I actually had a phenomenal time. They were great. We went out. I have an ultra wide monitor now that I've been playing around with for the last couple of days, which feels amazing.
Nice.
And yeah,
I actually have a few questions about that monitor.
go for it.
Because I see it's curved.
It is.
And Jackson and I talked about that a little bit last week, and I can't remember if we talked about it on or off air. But he landed on he's not sure how he feels about them because he's like, well, eventually, you get enough of these like extra wide monitors and they're curved and
you make a full circle around yourself.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know how I feel about that. And I'm like, I don't know, dude. That honestly sounds like the dream.
Honestly, my goal in life is to have a like in Star Wars, Vader's like little like meditation sphere. I want
Darth Vader. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah. Well, that's specifically his little meditation sphere. I want that, and I want to step into that. I want to sit down in my chair, and I want to be surrounded on all sides by screens.
Honestly, there's like an element of that sounds absolutely hellish.
Oh, absolutely. There's a like cyberpunk hell there in some way.
And it's unfortunately it's not even there in a subtle way. Partially,
no, it's there. It's there.
Nah, I'm with you though. There's just and not all the time. Not all the time. But I also have gotten very used to having a big monitor at work. And my monitor at home, you've seen my monitor. It's not a small monitor. It's still like full HD. It's a nice size. You can, if you're careful, you're going to be just fine in, screen management if you just want to like sort some stuff around.
Yeah.
But like, it's also not like huge. And boy, howdy, I do love a huge monitor. There's just something about huge that speaks to me.
The thing I've been running into as not like a bad thing, just as like a, hey, this is what I've been running into. The weirdest interaction that I've had is that like so many things aren't designed to be on a monitor this wide, which I know, so hashtag suffering from success. But
yeah.
But it is annoying a little bit because like you kind of have to like roll the dice on, is this game going to run in 1920 1080 or is it going to run in the actual size, which is like 3000 by 1440 or whatever, or 2040, whatever. Yeah, I mean it's definitely weird. It's definitely weird. I like it. I'm a huge fan. I really want to play around with more like simulator games now with it, like play some No Man's Sky with it. That kind of thing, because I just think it would be gorgeous. It's It's also kind of nice with the way my room is set up now, right? I have like a nice kind of curvature going along with all three monitors. I have purposes for all three. The other thing I got over the weekend was a monitor arm, which I've wanted for a very long time, to like kind of clamp it down and have it be like mobile. And so I have that, like, I have my far left monitor rotated to the side now, and it's like basically all I use it for is Discord. It's pretty much just to have Discord chats open, so I can just see them like kind of stretched out.
I hate that, but I also love it.
It's super nice. My far right one is either my media monitor, like whatever I'm watching something extra on, or I'm using it for like my stream dashboard. It's it's nice. It's super, super nice, and I'm very happy with it. Yeah, I'm just happy with it. I'm just pleased as punch. I said I'm gonna punch myself.
I mean, I can't blame you. It sounds like an absolute blast to have.
The one thing I've noticed, and it is actually annoying, is that I have the PS4 hooked up so that I can stream it, or I can play it in here if I so choose. And of course, since it's an ultra wide, the PS4s they don't work. Like, I think the PS5 might, but the PlayStation 4 does not like adapt to an ultra wide.
I was gonna say not native ultra wide.
Yeah, so I have to like go into the settings of the monitor and tell the monitor, hey, no, you actually have to run this at 1920 1080, and I get these nice big thick black bars on either side of my screen while it like shrinks itself down, which I think is very funny.
Nice.
I think it's very one
funny. Of those things where it's like, oh no, I'm having such a bad time, but also it's not like it's not inconvenient. It's just that it's not,
like it's not
such a inconvenient minor enough to complain about.
Exactly.
But you will.
But I will, and it just endlessly. But also, it's fine. It's literally fine. It's literally not that deep. I've been enjoying it a lot. My point is, I've been enjoying it a very great deal. It's been nice. Michelle has a new desktop now. We spent money on that.
Super exciting.
It's very exciting. Yeah. She's been waiting for one for a very long time. It's nice. It's a nice PC. She finally has. It was like so she's had an office upstairs in the loft for a very long time, but she hasn't been able to use it for the longest time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
nice to actually be able to use it.
Mm-hmm. It's been nice. It's been really nice. I'm just pleased. Like, I'm just very pleased with everything. It makes me happy. It makes me happy to have it. Stuff. Stuff makes me happy. That's not weird. It's fine. That's not
no. I mean, stuff is fun to acquire. It's nice to get new things, especially when it's something like a monitor or just a new computer in general, where it's like, hey, I use these things regularly.
Well, that was kind of our thought, right? Like, because we were talking, unironically, we were talking about how, like, for the same amount that we got this monitor, this like full, not the monitor, but for her desktop, all of her desktop, my monitor, and my arms, right, and like her monitor and stuff like that, we could have probably like funded a trip to Disney for a couple of days, right? And we were talking about doing that for a while. But Disney, we're there for 3 days, we're done. We use these 350 out of 365 days a year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a difference in scale and usefulness. It's nice. It's really nice to have. It makes me happy.
No, I can't blame you. That's kind of how I felt when I was justifying upgrading my RAM, and that's a relatively cheap fix, you know? And I'm just like,
it's not that cheap.
It's not that cheap, but it's cheap enough that I could definitely justify it while being expensive enough that I'm like, don't feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's many things in my life, so.
Yeah, buddy. Next on the list. Now that my office is basically complete, next on the list is finally, I think I'm gonna do it. I think my next big like dumb computer purchase is gonna be a headset. I think I'm finally gonna do it. I've had the one that Jackson so generously gave me all those years ago. But I've never had a controller for it, like a working controller for it.
A headset control. What do you mean?
Like, so when you have a VR headset.
I thought you were talking.
Yeah, I said headset, didn't I? I should have been more clear. That's on me. That's on me. That's super on me.
I'm thinking like an audio headset.
That's super on me. Yep.
Oh, look at this guy getting a headset. Trying to figure out what exactly I can do to meme on that outside of just being like,
neat.
joking about
I
you
just
being
want to
like
escape
a
my
fancy
reality
headset
into a
lad.
virtual world of my own design. That's all I want. I'm just saying the metaverse is just, it's the future. And I clearly am in full support of Marky Mark
Of
taking full
Marky
control
Mark's
over
metaverse.
my future forever, for all times.
Yeah, because there's not a single bad thing can come from the really weird Facebook metaverse where he's just like, hey, what if I took the coolest technology you've ever heard of and then turned it into office meetings?
Dude, there is a deep concern I have in like, I know we've memed on Ready Player One on the air before. That's a thing. That's
Yeah.
fine. I
Are ready to be player one.
I'm ready to be player one, yes, but I think the biggest thing that I think that got wrong, right? I mean, besides everything, is that like the idea that somehow it would be used for not evil.
See, not only that, if we're being honest, but also, in my opinion, it's like you've got guys out here, right, who are just like, oh yeah, I'm so happy to finally have the technology from I don't know, it would be like someone playing Dead Space, right?
Mhm.
And their takeaway from playing Dead Space is holy shit, dude, tampering with the laws of life, that's sick as hell.
I mean, to be
Let's
fair,
do that.
as we all know,
We're
it is
so
sick
close
as
to
hell.
having Dead Space in real life.
Well, that's exactly it.
it's just,
You're absolutely correct. Yeah, it's so much you really just didn't pay attention at all to what was actually happening here.
Yeah, there's not a lot of. I'm not gonna be able to get past just the fact that so many like current technology things that companies are trying to get people excited for are just like the bad plot line from every book you've ever read. And it's like,
Yeah. I mean,
no, thank you.
That's the thing, right? That's I was talking to my boss at work the other day about CRISPR a little bit. What's
CRISPR?
Let me see what it stands for.
Yeah.
The gene thing. I don't remember what does.
I don't remember what it
CRISPR
is, but I know what you're talking
stand
about.
for? Clustered, regularly interspaced, short palindrome repeats.
That's
Whatever
dumb
the
as hell.
fuck
But
that means.
I'll allow it.
What is CRISPR? Simple explanation. Yeah, it's a way of finding a specific bit of DNA and then alter that piece of DNA. That's all it is. It's gene modification, which is rad. That's super fucking cool. Except for the fact that it's gonna be just for the rich, and that sucks. Like that sucks. And
not only is it gonna be just for the rich, but it's gonna be used as like you know what we can finally do? Eugenics.
I mean, that's very true, right? And like they're on some level, right? Man, sure would be cool to eliminate cancer forever, right?
That's the thing, right? Like you can go in and the genetic things, like, you know, you'll still have like the issues of like situational cancer where like, oh yeah, you worked with faulty like equipment and were exposed to a shit ton of radiation.
Radiationified. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, yeah, you're not going to be able to get rid of that, but the fact that you could get rid of like genetic cancers or like other like weird little diseases, that's such a cool idea.
You can genetically remove my predisposition towards my mental illnesses and my physical illnesses and any future illnesses that I may have. Like you can remove those genetic negative like objectively negative predispositions. You can
like,
remove people's tendency to have dementia
cool.
in their old age.
Yeah. Like, I wish I could be excited about that, but I'm too caught up with the so this is going to be really bad for like autistic people who are just absolutely fine with their life, but someone who thinks that they're smarter than the people who are living their lives is like, oh, we can get rid of that. Like
there's quite a few like autism would be one of them. I would put ADHD in a similar category. Like there are some pretty rad parts about having ADHD. Not many, but they exist. And I would not like just because I would like to remove mine doesn't mean I would want everyone to be forced to remove theirs.
Yeah, there is a difference between you being like, yeah, maybe mine is calmed down a little bit, and yes, everyone has to forcibly have how they live changed because I want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so just one of those
self-centered.
Like, it's the biggest like playing God moment I can possibly think of, where people are like, "No, you don't understand. I actually know a lot more about what you're living through than you do."
Yeah, I don't know why you're not listening to me. I clearly know what is best for you. Full
I,
stop.
Jonathan T. CRISPR, know what's going on. I assume that's his name, right?
Johnny C.
Jonathan the CRISPR.
Johnny C. Crisp.
I
Johnny
love
Crispy.
that song.
As opposed to Johnny Be Good, is that what that was?
Yes.
I hate you.
I think that's incredibly valid. I'm not sorry.
I hate you and you should be sorry. Are you fucking sorry?
You know what, Dan?
You're just gonna come out and say it.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm not sorry.
What is that for? What is it? I'm glad. What is that fucking original Vine? You know what? I'm just gonna say it.
I honestly, Dan, can I be level with you right now?
You have no idea. I don't care.
Vine. No, worse. I just didn't know it was from a Vine.
Oh, here it is. Here we go. I got you, fam. Oh, not that. That's from Stellaris. That was what I was sending Cap earlier. Whoops. There we go. Yoink. There we go. You know what?
I gotta be honest with you. I'm not gonna watch it right now.
I don't care. That's fair. Noah, I have a cider this week.
You have a cider this week?
I have a cider this week, actually. I know it's hard to believe, but this week and this week alone, cider.
As opposed to the cider you brought last week.
I didn't have a cider last week. I wasn't here. Idiot.
You're not supposed to talk about that?
Checkmate, atheist.
Damn, you got me. You got me.
Left wing destroyed.
So much for the tolerant left. Can I just tell you, that's one of my favorite bits is
it's so good.
Just the so much for the tolerant left memes. Where it's just like
so good.
I love that they're exclusively made for the most part by left-leaning people.
Oh yeah, no,
but then
exactly.
You'll find the one though that's actually like legit and someone being pissed about something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what are you doing, dude?
Sir,
why are
you've posted cringe.
You've posted cringe on twitter.com and now you must face the consequences.
I
don't know what to tell you.
You've posted cringe.
But anyway, you were gonna talk about your cider, Dan, before I distracted
hold on.
you.
Let's see if I can get this. Let's see if I can get this on mic. Hold on.
Well, that's a good crack too.
That was actually really good. I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, you should be.
So I'm drinking today Wicked Cider Co.'s Peach Cobbler Cider. Hard cider with peach, crafted in the Pacific Northwest, 6.9% alcohol.
Very nice.
Which is actually not a small amount for a cider. Like usually I expect them in like the 5 range.
That's kind of how I feel too. I am always surprised anytime I come across like a beer that has that kind of level on it too, where it's just like, wow, you really just decided to go all out, didn't you?
I'm not mad. I'm just surprised.
Yeah. Like you're not gonna put it away because it's like that, but like
absolutely
you're also
not.
probably
What kind of
have,
fucking
like,
piece
one.
of shit do you take me for?
Maybe two, not one. I don't know why I said one, but you're not gonna have more than one or two.
Exactly. Yeah, it's good. It tastes like cider, like a peach cider. Like that's it. Yeah. I don't have like. I wish I could give you like more information. It's gluten free. That's neat. Has a cute little pinkish, like peach colored label on it. Very very low key. Very. We grabbed it as so when Michelle and I go and buy cider, because we do every couple of weeks, maybe once a month, if that.
Yeah, why not,
we'll get like our usual we'll get our Angry Orchard or more often Down East, and then we'll also grab like.
I mean, I would be getting
cider.
Down East if I were you. If I had my hands on that like often, come on now. It's
well,
really
yeah,
good.
but we were like, well, let's see if we can find, because I mean, we found Down East kind of on a whim. Let's see if we can't find another like diamond in the rough of craft ciders.
100%. I mean, you know what they say about craft ciders. They all suck.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Unlike my favorite beverage, craft IPAs,
which are always good.
I only drink IPAs now. I'm an IPA man.
Congratulations.
Why do people who I feel, well, and maybe this is just an over exaggeration of the people that I interact with a lot. Why does it feel like people who drink IPAs have to let you know that they only drink IPAs?
Why is it that people who drink IPAs have like the worst opinions on things? Is that what you're also saying?
Yeah. Like not everyone, I'm sure, but I feel like anyone.
Well, here's the thing, right?
Into IPAs, like that's their thing.
But it ties into the whole like hipster aesthetic of liking things that other people just don't like that much. And obviously IPAs are like the most obvious pick of, oh yeah, hipster with your IPA.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah, that makes
not for
sense.
nothing. You do be a hipster with an IPA though.
I do be hipster.
I don't know. What I hate the most, honestly, is that I don't mind IPAs all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I like some. There are some, like when we went to PAX,
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the New England Hazy IPA we got. But
Yeah.
like, I can very definitively tell you that I wouldn't like go out of my way to have it again. If I'm ever in Boston, I'm gonna be like, hell yeah,
Exactly.
I got access to this IPA again.
That's
But
all
like,
I ever wanted.
come on. Yeah,
I
I'm
know.
not gonna go out of my way to go get them. Like the guy who had me pick him up like a bunch of IPAs.
Oh my god, I remember that.
Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. But like, I'm glad that he likes them enough for me to do that. But man, not me. Not me.
Yeah, no, not me though. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I was talking, I'm going back to futurism a little bit. The other thing I was talking about to my boss about this week was so my boss and I will call him Rob. That's actually not his name. So Rob and I talk like pretty regularly about like, oh man, as soon as possible, I'm replacing my weak fleshy human body with steel and circuits. Like the second it's like, put me in, coach. I don't want to be the front line because that should be people who actually need it. But as soon as it's like oh yeah, we accept if you want to replace a existing body part with this, bionic arm, go for it. Like as soon as that's available, put me in.
Mm-hmm.
Day zero. So we were talking this week, and so the logical assumption, right, is that if the human mind can be trained to work a bionic arm as well as a real arm, right, which again, right, you can train it into yourself. Mm-hmm. Could you train the human brain to work with new body parts? The example we were joking about at first was, oh man, could you have an actual third eye, right? Like could you retrain and recontextualize your brain well enough that a third eye would actually be functional and useful? And I feel like the answer is probably yes, right? The human mind is very, very adaptable. But the question then became, at what point is it too many? Like, what is the limit on specific pieces? Like, how many arms is too many arms? Like,
I personally would feel very uncomfortable if I saw someone with an odd number of arms, but also if they had more than 4.
Exactly.
3, not good.
3
5,
is no good.
Not good. 4, yeah, I'm actually 100% okay with the concept of just going out in the street and then seeing someone with 4 arms.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying that if you could only have a single extra arm, because I pitched that too, which was, if you can have the rule is you have to have an extra arm and you can only have one, but you can pick where to put it. I think right in the like middle of my shoulder blades, like right over the back of my head, like a little scorpion tail.
What would you do with it?
Who cares? Carry things?
No, that wouldn't work.
Be able to tip my hat to Milady without having to use my other 2 arms?
No, I don't like that at all.
Is it worse than having an odd number, than having like 2 arms on your right side and 1 arm on your left? Because I feel like yes. I feel like that, like having 2 and 1 is much worse than having 1 like out of the back of your spine.
Mm-hmm. See, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. If I'm gonna have a third arm, I would want it on one of the sides that I already have. I'm okay with that. If I was told, hey, you're getting an extra arm, that's what I would pick.
That's the future liberals want.
Yeah.
They want
I'd probably,
Joe
honestly,
Biden to kick down your door and say, Noah, you're getting an extra arm. We're going to use CRISPR.
I would probably go with an extra left arm. Probably.
Okay. I can actually respect that because I feel like
I'm not left-handed.
Is this a musical thing?
I also like the idea. No. Well, I mean, yeah, actually, I guess that too. But I like the idea of a second arm on my non-dominant side that would just be used for carrying stuff. Mm-hmm. That way, I stop defaulting to like, oh, I'm stupid, and I put my keys in my right pocket, and my right arm is holding all my groceries, and now I can't open the door.
Except what actually would happen was both of your left arms and your right arm would have groceries, and you still wouldn't be able to open the door. Mm-hmm. Because that's how that works. I think there any eye that is more than 2 is weird. 2 eyes are like
Two eyes are aesthetically pleasing. One
Like,
eye, especially, man, I really love the people that decide to actually get into like, oh yeah, let me look into the actual anatomy of a like Cyclops skull.
mhm.
I love that.
Well,
Um,
the only I don't really see like a huge plus side to having an extra eye, right? Like, if it's a
I
if it's an
if
extra
it was
forward facing
on,
eye
that's the thing, right? If it was a forward facing eye, the only thing that I could think, this would work, would be
in your forehead.
would be no, if it was in my forehead, would be if that eye saw a different light like spectrum.
Oh, okay. So you're going mantis shrimp with it.
Kinda. Like, I love the idea of a larger spectrum of vision.
Same.
I
I'm
think that
super
would be
fascinated
neat.
by it.
I
The fact
think
that
it would be
we
cool.
are so limited in what we can see makes me very sad.
And like, well, and that's the thing too, right? Like, on one hand, I get it because it would be very overwhelming and overloading,
But
hypothetically.
that's the dream, fam.
But also, I just love the idea of that's why I would like it as an auxiliary eye,
Mhm.
where like it's almost never open, but every now and then I open up and hypothetically out here, I opening my third eye and I'm seeing all the beautiful world.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
I think
Nice,
that
nice,
would be
nice.
a neat addition. Simultaneously though, if I had a third eye and it was not in front of my head, putting it like somewhere where I got a wider field of view, that would actually be kind of cool.
See that? Well, and that's what I was saying. Like, if like, do you like almost like a bird, right? Like on either side of your head, like a little bit closer to your temples, so you can see a much wider FOV in real life. It's like putting your FOV
Mhm.
slider up to like 180 at least, probably much bigger.
Yeah.
But like an eye in the back of your head,
I think
nah,
it would
get
be
that out of here.
difficult for me to get used to,
Oh, of course.
you know?
The only other the
Um,
only other body horror thing that made me that I could think of in this same vein was if you had like an eye stalk, because then you could rotate it around
oh,
freely. Like either
I gotta be honest.
Hmm?
If I did that, I would want both of my eyes on stalks,
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
I wouldn't want stationary eyes at that point.
Yeah, because why bother?
hmm
Like at that point, you just being boring. I was pointing out also
Yeah, I
that
don't
like
know.
if you start replacing like internal organs, like the one I specifically went to was liver, right? If you replace your liver with a bionic liver, you probably can't get drunk anymore, right? Like, isn't that how it is in Deus Ex? Because like
I don't remember.
your body would just
Is the liver? I don't think the liver is what makes you drunk.
isn't it what partially helps with the metabolization of the booze? Am I misremembering that? The processing of
Alcohol
the
wouldn't
booze?
hit your liver that fast, would it? I
How-
don't know.
How
Let's
does the
let's Google real
liver
quick.
play into alcohol?
It cleans
Most
it.
alcohol.
I know that.
Okay, yeah, most alcohol is broken down.
Holy
or
shit! It's
yeah.
well, I guess that would be the thing then, right? Like if you got a bionic liver, you would like
hyper metabolize it, right?
well, in theory, but maybe you would have like, can you imagine like you would
You can
have
turn
like a
it on
little
and
like
off.
dial?
Mhm.
Yeah. Where it's like, how drunk do I want to get tonight? At all or not or yes. You know?
At all or yes, yeah. The two genders. No, I totally. I don't know. I'm super into this sort of like. Oh man, the future. If we don't if we somehow don't wipe ourselves off the map, future's got lots of weird, cool shit that we could do. Do I expect it to end ever? Let me try that again. Do I expect any of it to ever come to pass? No, right? Like no. But also, I can dream. Fuck you.
Yeah, I don't know. I still stand on the I don't want bionic limbs front of things.
That's really fair.
But I really, really, really love the idea of I really love the idea of like the bionic organ thing.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people on waiting lists because well, you gotta have someone die to donate your organs. You don't really want to try and rush that along. A lot of animal organ substitutions, they're not really great.
Pigs aren't they doing cool things with like replacing certain organs in pigs, and that's working great? Am I misremembering that? Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Totally.
It's one of those things, right? Where like some of them work great, some of them don't. And I think it would be really neat. I don't know, to get all that together in some way.
Yeah, no, totally. I 100% agree, and it's I just think it's super interesting. I just think it's such an interesting like thing to think about of like what what is the limit of human fucking not even ingenuity, adaptability, I guess. Like for bionic limbs, like I totally get that. Oh, here's a question. If okay, so some people, not many, but whatever, would you feel more comfortable if it was like a grown on limb, like if it was like spliced onto you and it was a fully like flesh and blood, all the bone structure is there,
Yes.
don't worry about it, you'd feel more
It
comfortable with
is
that than a robot one?
100%. It is
Interesting.
the technological aspect of I
You don't
don't
love the idea
really
that someone can
care
hack your arm?
for. Yeah,
I
that's
think
the
that's
thing.
so
I
fair.
don't trust that technology to be very safe,
Mm-hmm.
especially for the first like 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
I expect it to be very prevalent, but
Well,
I
weren't
don't
people able to
expect it to
have
be very
like even
safe
pacemakers too?
at
Wasn't that a
first.
thing?
I would not be surprised if that is a thing.
Whack. What kind of monster attacks hacks someone's pacemaker? That's so scuffed.
I can't imagine a reason to do it, right? Like,
I mean, I can
uh,
if you're a fucking dick.
that's the thing is I can't imagine what point could you possibly have. What point could you possibly have to do that to someone?
If you're
That's
a
my main
dick.
thing. Well, but that's the thing. Like you're choosing to do it literally just to kill somebody.
Yeah,
There's
basically.
no point in it
Yeah,
except to do that. I can't wrap my mind
no
around that. I don't want to do that.
hashtag could not be me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's interesting. It's very very interesting. I really enjoy talking about like we were talking about because I was also talking about not to them but to other people about how like with Meta, because we mentioned Meta earlier, like Meta's a bad idea. Like everything about the metaverse is just a bad time.
Yeah,
But
there's nothing about the metaverse that sounds good to me outside of the simple concept of VR chat, but a little bit nicer.
exactly. Uh, but what I wish had not died, and I wish we would get back to, is stuff like Google, like augmented reality. Like
Mhm.
the fact that Google Glass sucked so badly makes me sad. From what I hear, it's used a lot in like corporate. It's used in enterprise use rather than on like for personal use. But like personal use AR sounds amazing.
Is Google Glass still like a thing people can get into?
Yeah, it's used in. I'm pretty sure it's only for enterprise
Oh my
use. Like
gosh.
you can do enterprise stuff with it.
Oh, this
Google
is neat.
Glass Enterprise. Yeah, Google Glass Enterprise Edition. Yeah, they
No, I get
just.
it. And honestly, it's like stuff like this, like just having a HUD would be
Mm-hmm.
neat.
HUD sounds great.
Like, because I don't want to have to wear a helmet or anything, right?
No, no,
I'm
no, no,
not
no, no.
so committed to the concept of having a HUD that I would ever actually do anything to get it. But I
Mm-hmm.
like the idea of just like having a little like do something that'll bring up a little clock, a little calendar, just like something so I can see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know a guy who has like the glasses that like the frames of the glasses pump music through your bones
Oh, that's
and you
rad.
can
What?
listen to music from your glasses. Yeah, what is it? It's something to do with the frames of the glasses where they make contact with your head, they send vibrations there and you listen to music that way.
That sounds rad as fuck. I've never
No,
heard
it's
of
cool.
this.
And yeah, it's also good as like a safety thing because you're not plugging your ears with earbuds to
Oh
listen to the
yeah.
music. You're able to hear everything just fine. Um so it's good for like let's say that you're driving and
Mm-hmm.
you want to listen to music that's not on the radio. Now you actually have a way to listen to music safely while still being able to monitor the road. Like things like that.
I mean, to be
It's a
fair, you
really
could
cool
already do
thing. They
that with like
used to
car
sell earbuds
speakers.
like that. Well, yeah, but like let's say
If
that
you're
you're in a
driving for,
situation where for some reason you're driving your 1987 Buick LeSabre because
without
for
with,
whatever reason that hunk of junk still drives,
but you
it
didn't.
also
You also happen to
only has a
have.
cassette tape. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe you just don't feel like getting one of those cassette tape to eighth inch adapters.
I'm thinking like on a construction site, right? Like if you're driving a
Yeah, no,
forklift.
like yeah, there's a lot of situations where it's like very helpful. Cool idea. Although in a construction situation, you're probably wearing hearing protection and you shouldn't be listening to music because you need to be able to hear everything you can over your hearing protection.
But still.
But it's like stuff like that. There's a lot of options and there's a lot of cool things that could work. I love the idea of having. I love wearable tech. I think wearable tech is very fun.
I think wearable tech is very cool. I want to watch it in a big way.
Like, dude, right? Like, I love the idea of that. And oh my gosh. Jackson tweeted about people using wearable tech to make yourself like just a pretentious smart pocket watch, which makes it just as inconvenient to use as your phone. So why would you have it? But I gotta be honest, I actually like the idea, right? Like it's
dude, I'm here for a pretentious pocket watch.
I love the idea of having something. I love doodads, right? Like little customization things that are out there. Like, I don't know. I'd like to have a heart rate monitor built into like a ring or something, so I can just like, if I need to check, I can check, like just general like bio reading. So I'm like, let's see. What are my sugar levels or something like that? Like just little things like that. That's the future I want to see, like where you have access to things like this if you want them, but also unlike the smartphone, they don't become necessary to life. Because that was something I was thinking of recently is, I at fucking like a fast food job, I was unable to like function there without a smartphone.
Yeah,
they
nutty.
moved over their entire scheduling system to smartphones.
Yep.
And you still could email you could still get the schedule emailed to you, right?
Sure.
But like,
I guess you could if you were a fucking
and that's the
nerd.
Thing. Like if you logged into the app, you could set it to email and text you. But you had to log into the app, and you could log into the website, but it's not as good as the app is. And it's very clearly a second thought. And the app is just better. And I needed the phone. And then when I was in management, I needed a smartphone so they needed me to take pictures of things to document stuff. Not people. I wasn't being like a people narc, but man, we did take a lot of pictures of like faulty produce and product.
Yikes.
That we then used to, So actually here, let me tell you this fun behind the scenes story of Chick-fil-A story here.
Please.
Because I think you'll actually find this really interesting. And by interesting, I mean at least passable. So we had this thing called chicken audits, right? It was something that another Chick-fil-A had started, and we were taking it to because what they had said was they were getting a lot of money back from these companies we bought chicken from because they were actually overcharging us for what they were selling us.
Okay, that makes sense.
And initially, it's just a quality control thing, right? Like if the chicken breast is too big, we're technically not allowed to cut it down and use it. Depends on like, it really did depend on who it was though. Like, cause there's training videos on that. So it's like, if it's not, cause there were some that were huge. I'm talking massive, like turkey breast sized. And I don't know where they came from, but man, we loved when that happened because we'd make them and be like, yeah, this is enough chicken for 4 sandwiches.
Amazing. Why would they not take them if they were too large? Like just to be obstinate?
But we had to mark them. We would cut them down and use them, but then we would still count like the trim waste because while we have a system in place for like you expect some loss, right? You expect some loss from fat, you expect some loss from other things. What we didn't expect were like actual mangled pieces of chicken. You can't use that. We're not allowed. Corporate says we are not allowed to cut up stuff and use them for like chicken nuggets. So because of that, we had to make do with what we could do. And we used to contact these companies and tell them, because the company would have us do an audit of 4 cases per batch and then average out, like, because we bought each day, we went through 13 36-pound cases of chicken.
That's a lot of chicken.
It's a lot of chicken. And that's just the chicken breast. That's not everything else. That's just for the regular sandwich. We went through like 13 cases.
Jesus.
In some processing form or another. whether it was like full use, because maybe we only went through like 10, but we had to prep extras for like the next day.
Yeah.
Things like that. So yeah, we were auditing these cases, and sometimes our batch numbers, we were really, really lucky, and because we were buying like tons of this chicken every day, we sometimes got lucky, and we were able to apply one audit to like 20 cases.
Nice.
Super great deals. Other times we audited 2 cases, and that's the only cases from that batch we had, and we had to audit every single batch.
Ugh. Less nice.
And we got to a point where we were being so strict about stuff that they were like, hey, we are not giving you back all this that you're asking for, but we will give you 50% of what you're asking for.
They just were like, actually, sir, please cease and also desist.
Oh, that's the thing. And like, some of the managers were mad about that. And I'm like, I remember thinking at the time that was a really dumb thing to be mad about, because it's like we were getting an amazing deal having them give us anything back at all, realistically. Like, anything that was too small, we couldn't use. Anything that was mangled, we couldn't use. If there was an excess of fat, like, not any fat, but if there was an excess of it, we couldn't use it. Like that kind of stuff. And then they were like, also weigh the chicken juice. And I'm like, well, that's a little bit much. That's going to happen. They're not filling this box up with liquid to try and make weight. Maybe they are. Yeah. But like, let's be real. They're not, And I think about that every now and then, how like it was one of those like the gall of us type of situations where it's like, can you believe?
Can you believe the nerve?
Really believe that we tried to do that? And they're still doing it to this day, as far as I know. And
Wild.
It makes sense, right? Because you need some corporate accountability for your supply chains.
Of course.
But all that to loop back around, I had to use my phone to take pictures of the labels, to take pictures of the chicken, and then we had to freeze the chicken and wait until like they signed off before we could get rid of any of the bags of stuff. And that was actually a cool thing, because we couldn't use it. We got to take that chicken home, so that was free food.
Nice.
Good deals.
You gotta love free food. That's part of working.
Well, maybe I got to do that service. At least. Maybe they tightened up on that if you were a non-manager, but I was allowed to do it, and that's all that I care about.
Is it you were allowed to do it, or this was you did it and nobody stopped you?
If we're being honest, it could have gone either way. It was a time. We just kind of did things back then.
We just do things. We're like dogs chasing cars.
In the wild and crazy times of 2016. Oh, we just kind of did what we wanted. It was a cowboy.
That sounds like easier times and better times.
Well, easier.
I know what I said.
I'll give you easier. But yeah, the fact that I needed a smartphone for stuff like that, a little much.
A little bit cringe.
I understand, like, smartphones are like, they're inseparably, oh my gosh, what am I fucking saying? Inseparable from society at this point. They're intertwined with everything we do. I listened to an old man today talk about how dangerous smartphones can be sometimes, and I'm like,
old man yells
a little bit on that. Honestly, it's just like, oh, I'm glad that you live doing a job where it's not required, but I literally need my phone to do work. Right? Like, I can't, and thank the Lord, we're finally past this a little bit, where Instagram lets you upload from like your web browser now.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much. What a fucking mess. But I can finally like do social media scheduling through Facebook Business and through Instagram itself. I can post without needing my phone. Very, very convenient. But also, like, I need to be on call all the time, apparently. So, like, I have to have my phone and it has to work. I don't want more of that. But I do, to loop it back around, I do want to have a stupid, pretentious smartphone, smartwatch, pocket watch.
Yeah, dude, that sounds amazing.
I think that would be
Having
fun.
a smartwatch, pocket watch sounds like a gift. That sounds so good.
I love, you don't just pull it up and be like, look at the time, and then put it back. It's less potentially distracting than pulling my phone out.
True.
Because that definitely is going to take up some of my time.
Yeah, no, I am so here for it. I'm so here for it. And that's okay. Like, I don't know. And there's something fun about, I agree with you. Like, I like having like gadgets, not necessarily stuff, because I feel like it's a little like downplaying what it is I'm actually enjoying. I like gadgets. I like gizmos. I like doodads.
Mm-hmm.
I've literally been saying that for every new piece of technology or piece of stuff that I get on my desk at work, that my power grows. Like, it just, I can do more things more conveniently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I totally get it. All that to say, we are careening towards a death future where everything is terrible and we are slaves to the corporate overlords even more than we already are. We live in a society and things.
Did you say things are constantly happening, or did you just cut off after things?
I just cut after things.
Okay. I was sitting here waiting for you to like finish. But like
it's all about the anticipation, Noah.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
No, you're not down for the anticipation?
No.
I know there was something I wanted to talk about, and I'm blanking on what it was now. There's something like from 2 weeks ago that was like, oh, remind me to talk about this. I don't know what it was now. It's gone. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Noah, how's your gaming life been lately? Jackson's not here. We can talk about video games.
My gaming life has been okay. It pretty much exclusively has been Borderlands 2 and Binding of Isaac. But a massive Isaac update came through recently, and a bunch of items actually work now.
Oh, when did that come through?
Maybe like 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Nice.
On the 10th.
Nice.
So yeah, huge bug fixes. Birthright works for all characters, among other things. Yeah.
Not that matters for the likes of us, but still.
Yeah, I can't remember if I've ever seen Birthright in game or not. I feel like that's a late unlock that I definitely haven't seen before. But there's a part of me that's like, maybe
I think it's a specific. I think it's for Cain, isn't it? Isn't it one of Cain's late game unlocks? Isaac.
You know, that would make sense. I was actually, that's what I'm looking up right now. Let's see.
Who is it?
Oh, it's probably a Jacob and Esau unlock. Let's see.
Oh, that would make more sense. Yeah. Trivia. Nope. Yep. Name and unlock requirement. Yeah, it is Jacob and Esau. How do you get it though? Defeat Blue Baby or not Blue Baby. Dead Baby. No, it is Blue Baby. Yeah, defeat Blue Baby as Jacob and Esau. Birthright is a really cool item. I think it's one of the neater items in the game.
It's a very good, in theory, idea, right?
Mm-hmm. I just think it's neat.
Ooh, Tainted Lazarus's birthright is actually really powerful. It spawns the other side, because you know how there's like Tainted Lazarus and Dead Tainted Laz. Mm-hmm. It spawns them and you control them like Jacob and Esau, except the second one is immune to damage and just a ghost.
That's rad.
Yeah. And then using the flip causes them to switch states rather than anything else. That's neat. I like this a lot. There's doing a lot of cool stuff.
Fucking Tainted fucking Jacob and Esau are a fucking goddamn nightmare. Have you seen that gameplay?
I have. I really want to try it, but I also know that I have a better chance with like Tainted Keeper than I do anything else. Tainted Apollyon could be fun.
Tainted Apollyon could be fun.
They look like a trip.
Ugh, it's just the worst. Just the fucking worst. I literally, like, that's one of the, like, Jacob and Esau are hard enough as they're on their own. Not gonna lie. Like, I think they're very difficult to play.
I believe it.
But
yeah, it's let's see. It's also a Jacob and Esau unlock.
It's neat. I think it's cool. Here, I need to get back into Isaac. My gameplay lately has almost exclusively also been Borderlands, but with Minecraft and apparently Stellaris. Well, yeah, Stellaris might be my new Saturday game. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if it sticks around.
Nice. I still have never played Stellaris, but
it's okay. It's a very specific kind of game. It's more. It's become very much my accidental brand lately to just play games that allow you to commit war crimes. So here we are committing more war crimes, but this time in space. Take that however the fuck you want.
Congratulations.
I don't know if that's the right word.
Good for you, Mr. War Crime. I'm sure your mother's
Excuse me, sir.
proud
It's
of you.
War Crime McGee. Thank you.
Oh, Warcrime McGee. I'm sorry.
You fuck.
Congratulations, Warcrime McGee.
Thank you. I appreciate that you use my proper name.
No problem.
Mr. Warcrime was my father. Yeah, no, it's a good game. I enjoy it a lot. I'm not good at it, but
Borderlands is not a good game though, and I want to talk about this a little bit.
I want to hold. I want to, because I agree with you. I agree with you. But I talked to Cap about it yesterday, and he asked that I hold off, like, more ragging on it until I finish it.
Well, no, that's actually what I was about to say. Is I like it a lot more than I thought I would.
Same. Agreed. 100%.
And
I mean, I told Kat the same thing, that like I was not invested in the game until like our most recent stream. Like I just did not care.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the game is getting better now that we're further into it. And that, I think it's one of those, if memory serves, that's also what it was like for Borderlands 1 for me, right?
Maybe. That would make sense.
Like it gets so much better as it goes on. And the only issue I really have with it anymore, if we're being real, is just the fact that there's like, it's just cringy humor.
It's a little cringe. Yeah, it's definitely a little cringe.
Just really dated. And honestly, it is difficult for me to really slam the game on that too much because it's a product of the era. Like, when did this game come out? It came out, let's see.
2008?
2012.
12.
Borderlands 2 came out in 2012. That was a lawless wasteland of humor.
Yeah, the world has grown a lot since then. Not that much, but a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I agree with you. I think that it does have some like very, it's just immature. Like it feels like middle school level. Like, but you know what's funny? Dicks. And I'm like, yeah, great. It was funny the first time.
It's like, yeah, I also thought that when I was
in 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's honestly my biggest.
There's a free texture pack update.
Ooh, for what?
I actually have for Borderlands 2.
Oh, when did that happen?
The Ultra HD texture pack.
Oh, I've already had that.
Ages ago. I did not.
Oops.
So
good job.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I mean that is. I agree.
Though.
Like that is truly my biggest gripe with it at this point. Is that I just like I would love to take this game a little more seriously, right? Like I'd love to even take the world existing in a little more seriously, right? Because everything sucks in the Borderlands world. Fun fact, everything in the Borderlands world actually terrible. Like their lives are not good.
Like no, every planet you go on is just like worse and worse and worse, and everything that's happening.
It's all the same planet.
Oh yeah, no, I meant that the planet that you're on everywhere is just worse and worse and worse. Like you're clearly not supposed to be there. All the monsters are big and bad, and it's fun.
It's a bad time, yeah. It's just that place sucks for everyone involved, and like I would love to engage with that a little more.
When your primary enemies are like the psychos who are just like, I'm gonna say something really weird. And that's my whole thing.
At least at least when you're fighting like the bandits, there you can be like, yeah, but like, you know, whatever.
When they come up to me and they're just like, I'm gonna eat your baby, and that's their entire thing, it's like, okay, cool. I don't know. I'm over
No, I agree with you. I agree with you so in like such a big way.
But also, the game is distinctly getting better. So
it is. It's I'm enjoying it a lot more. Like I said, I'm enjoying it a lot more now than I was before by leaps and fucking bounds. Which I'm glad. Like that makes me very, very glad. Because I think that I think we both would have been very miserable if we had enjoyed it the same amount now that we did when we started.
Yeah, no, we would have stopped by now.
Yeah, 110%.
Well, maybe we wouldn't have stopped by now, but we would have been much more leaning into side conversation.
Mm-hmm. And to be fair, we lean into side conversation pretty heavily as it is.
Ooh, boy. But there's no reason to talk about this, though.
No, it's fine. I do want to come back to it when we finish it, like in a big way. Because I think that like we will have a full image of like, hey, here's the game. Like, here's what it actually is from beginning to end. And even then, I still think I'm going to be like, damn, this game kind of was fine. Like, I think I'm going to land on it. It was fine. Because it
I'm gonna
was
land on it was not a bad time. That's my prediction.
yeah,
Now.
I think that's a
I don't
very
know that I'll
fair.
land on good time, but I will very confidently say I'm not gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where we land on it. For now, though,
in the future,
ooh, future. I sure do love future.
I thought for a second, I thought you were doing a bit to make fun of the way Jeff ends the casual obsession.
I get implying that I listen to your other work.
Episodes, but
get out of here.
Well, that's the thing is, I am very aware of the fact that you're not likely to listen to our podcast about horror movies because you don't
and
watch horror
it's
movies.
literally not to do with you. It's entirely to do with I don't know, dude. Horror movies are they're just not my thing.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, it's not fun to watch to listen to something about something that you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
In an educational sense, sure. But in a movie review sense, no, not as much.
Exactly.
Although
it doesn't mean it's bad, obviously. Everyone should go listen to Casual Obsession.
Yeah. I didn't say it, so it's not shameless self-promotion.
I'm
Dan
not
said
shamelessly
it,
self-promote.
and I'm not even paying him to say it.
You're not?
Shut up, Ben!
Shut up and say the lines! Read the script!
Stick to script. Get back on this.
Casual Obsession is my favorite podcast on the Citadel. Wait, fuck, wrong script. Damn it. I'm butchering this. You know, no, I am butchering this. I'm not that sorry.
Just cut it. You're doing more harm than good. This is it. This is
it. That's the end.